Hi, it's Wonder Creates and welcome to the part 2 video of the My Little Pony Alice Liddell custom. Today I'm going to show you how I made this My Little Pony the original Alice Liddell dress. In the last video I showed you how I made this Alice Liddell pony custom that took me forever to draw on the cutie mark, and this is what it looks like on both sides as well. It was very time consuming and it took a lot of work, but it was worth it. So now I'm going to put her to one side and I'm going to be using this pony as a mannequin so I can make the dress. So to make the dress, I actually got inspiration from these little voodoo doll key rings that I like to collect on how this dress was made. So the maker kind of got some fabric and they made a gathering. And it looks pretty straightforward and simple. So I'm going to be using the same sort of method to be making this Alice Liddell dress. I'm going to be using some stretchy white fabric and I'm going to try and make this dress as close to the original Alice dress. So I'll be using yellow for the actual colour of the dress. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut away the sleeve from the shirt as I don't need to use all of this material. Now I'm cutting the sleeve down the middle. I'm going to spread all the material out and try and make a rectangle shape. To do this, I'm just going to eyeball it all since I haven't made any template or anything. So I just need to get a rectangle shape. Now, it doesn't have to be neat since we're going to be adjusting this onto the pony, so we may need to cut it more. After you cut out your rectangle shape, we are going to be measuring it up against our mannequin pony. So here I think the dress is way too big, so I'm going to simply just cut away some more material. So you do want the dress, or in this case the rectangle, to be a bit bigger than the actual dress size, as we will be folding in the edges and everything so the material won't fray away. You do want to constantly measure up the material against the pony to see if there's any adjustments need to be made. Now it's time to sew up the sides of our rectangle so the material won't fray away. I'm using a yellow thread so the stitching will be less visible. First I'm going to make an anchor stitch on the side of the material. To do this you want to go around several times with the thread at the same spot. I go around about 5 times. Now I'm folded in the side of the material like this. To secure it, I'm going to be using a running stitch. To do this, you want to go in through the material and out through the top. And you want to do that all along the line. A faster way of doing this is simply pushing all the material onto the needle like I'm doing here. Then it creates this gathering and then you can pull the needle through. Then you have a fast way of doing a running stitch. You want to pull the material to straighten it all out, and then I'm going to continue until I've got this side done. Once you're finished, it should look something like this. Now I'm going to do it all again on the same side to fill in all of the gaps. So you want to go in with the needle to the stitch that's already there, and then you want to come out at the end of that stitch. Then you can get this continued line. So I'm going to be doing this all of the way down. And again, you can use the quicker technique. Just need to make sure that you go through the end of each stitch that you've previously done. Then after you pull that through, you can see that you have a continued line. Once you've finished the side, you want to do another anchor stitch at the end. Once you've done both sides of the material, it should look something like this. Now I'm going to sew the top bit of the material, which is the bit that goes around the pony's body. I decided to sew this side last because I thought it would look neater. Before I sew it, I'm going to measure it up against the pony's body. After I sewn the final side like I did with the two others, I didn't do an anchor stitch on the final running stitch. This is so I can gather the thread. I did this by pulling the string to create the gathering to go around the pony's body. Then once you're happy of what it looks like, you can secure it with the anchor stitch. Then the dress will look like this. I thought the dress looked a bit too flat, so I got some white material. It isn't the stretch fabric, it's just white material. I used this to give the dress more volume. So I just cut a square bit of regular white fabric. So again, I need to sew each side of the fabric using the same coloured thread as the material. So basically we're making another dress to use as the underdress to give the main dress more volume. You need to gather the underdress as well, as that is how the volume is created. So I'm going to stitch these two pieces together. Again, I'm going to measure it up against the pony. To put the two pieces together, I'm putting the underdress under the stitching of the main dress so it won't be too thick going around the body of the pony. To sew it together, I'm using an anchor stitch, then I'm going to be using a running stitch and then again secure it with another anchor stitch. And then it looks like this. It has created some volume, not much volume, but it was better than before. The underdress looks way too long, so to fix this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold up the underdress and I'm going to do another anchor stitch and then a running stitch and again an anchor stitch. So now this is what the underdress looks like. Okay, so this part is more of the creative bit as I have no guidance on how to make the front part of the dress. So I just had to guess what to do. So what I did, I had to get another bit of fabric, made it another rectangle shape, and I constantly lined it up against the pony. So I used the pony as my guide on how to make the front part of the dress. So what I basically did, I put the fabric against the pony and I started cutting upward. Then I cut away the sides of the fabric to make it look like a T shape. So I cut away any excess to make it look more neater. So far this is what it looks like. So the bit near the stomach of the pony was a bit too long, so I needed to trim that down again. After this stage, I decided to move on to make the sleeves of the dress. To make the sleeves, I started off with a long, thin, rectangular shaped fabric. I put it around the pony's leg to see how much fabric I needed. To neaten up the edges, I folded them up like I did with the dress and I sewed along. This is what the sleeves look like after I finished up sewing the sides. I didn't sew up one of the sides because I thought it would be too bulky to sew onto the dress. So I sewed the top bit and just one of the sides and the bottom bit as well. I don't think it's going to fray anyway. Back onto the front part of the dress, I'm going to put the good side facing towards the pony's body because I will be turning this inside out. And I'm going to sew these two pieces together. This is what the front part looks like all sewn together. And I'm going to trim off this excess here. And it just simply slides off like this. Now I'm going to attach the sleeves. I'm going to put the good side facing towards the pony's hoof. This is what it looks like when everything is sewn together. Now I'm going to turn it inside out to hide all of the stitching. This is what it looks like onto the pony. You can still see some of the stitching, but it does look better. Here is an idea of what it will look like when all the pieces are together. I do think the dress is a bit too long, so I'm going to make it shorter. I'm going to cut some off, then I'm going to fold it in and sew it. This is what the dress looks like now. Now it's time to make the collar of the dress. What I do is that I put the needle inside the fabric and then I pull it out the middle and then I put it back in the fabric and I pull it out the top and I go around about several times. And this is the result. To add some more detail, I'm going to add pockets to the dress. What I did is that I got a rectangle and I folded it. Then I curved off the edges. Then I cut it to be smaller and to be more pocket sized. After that, I opened it up and then I have two pockets. Now I'm just going to directly sew them onto the dress of where I want them. And this is what the pockets look like when I've finished, and they are functional. I'm not sure what to fit in this, but maybe a little key or something, you know? I decided to take this outfit to the next level and to create underwear for the pony. First, I'm going to make some socks, then I'm going to make some underwear. The original Alice actually has blue socks, but I could just make some later if I want to, so I can switch them. Okay, so I'm using some stretchy white fabric for this, and I cut it out a rectangle, and I'm going to wrap it around the pony's leg. I'm just going to sew it round the leg using a running stitch. After I stitch down the leg, I'm going to cut off the excess. I'm going to cut a bit off the bottom as well. Now I'm going to sew up the hoof part using a regular stitch. I did go back and use a regular stitch for the back part of the sock as well. Now I'm going to take the sock and turn it inside out. And this is what it looks like on the pony. Then I repeated the process on the other side. And this is what the socks look like. Now I'm going to try and attempt to make the underwear for the pony. I'm using this stretchy white fabric again, and I cut out a rectangle and I put it around the pony. So I put the fabric around the tail and I stitched it together. I also stitched around where the pony's belly is. Near where the tail is, I'm going to stitch that near where the stomach is of the pony, so there won't be like a little gap. And there's these two corners at the side, so I'm just going to bring them both together and stitch them. And this is the finished result of the pony underwear, and I'm not going to turn this inside out. To remove it, you can simply slide it off. And this is what all the underwear looks like together. I put the dress on top of that, and this is what it looks like so far. To add more detail, I'm painting in a white collar. This is what the collar looks like, and I'm going to add a little bit of blue just for an extra touch. Now I'm going to try and make the apron for the pony. I'm using the same stretchy white fabric again. I cut it into a rectangle, then I made it into this isosceles triangle shape. I did measure it up against the pony. And I made the end bit of the triangle thinner so it can go in between the pony's legs. Using a regular stitch, I'm going to sew that directly on. This is what the main part of the apron looks like. when it's done. I decided to paint the pockets white for some more detail. To add the sleeve part of the apron, I cut 2 small isosceles triangles and I try to put it under the main part of the apron so I can sew it on. I tried to put the sleeve parts of the apron under the main part to make it look a bit more neater and seamless. Now I'm just going to sew it on, again using a regular stitch. And this is what the apron looks like. For some more detail like the original apron, I'm going to paint on some blue lines. Now I'm going to put all the pieces together, and to secure the dress I'm going to put a white elastic band around it. To hide the elastic, I tied around this blue ribbon that looks like this. And this is what the final product looks like. I did tie some blue ribbon around the hair as well. I'm thinking of making some shoes to go with the outfit as well, or I could just paint some over the socks. But yeah, this is pretty much what the final product looks like.
What a curious tunnel. I wonder if it leads to the center of the earth. Now where am I? What a strange hall. I wonder what's over here. Oh. It's a little door. Maybe the white rabbit went through it. Rabbit! It's locked. Ugh. How can I get in here? I wonder. What a lovely dress. But I still need to get the key to the door. I wonder if it opens now. Oh, it's still locked. Maybe if one of these keys can open it. Oh, none of these keys work, so it has to be the one over there. This is the last key. It has to get the door open. Oh, now what am I ought to do? None of these keys can get the door open. I'm pretty sure that wasn't there before. I wonder if it is poison. Let me check the label. If you drink much from a bottle marked poison, it's soon to disagree with you sooner or later. However, this isn't marked poison. The bottle disappeared. Where did it go? A key? But how? This has to be the right key for the door. Well, I ought to be stuck here forever if it isn't the right key. Well, here it goes.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and I'll probably make more Wonderland characters in the future. But for now, I'm going to take a break from this project and do some other videos like unboxings, maybe do some charity shop hauls and doing some other mini projects before I decide to make another character. Thank you all so much for watching. I worked so hard to get this custom done, and I may try and make some shoes for it in the future. Bye!